in a house full of people, my parents, my brother, my sister-in-law, my 3-year-old nephew, and my 7-year-old nephew, which is why I'm wearing the Chopper Dave headset, because it just is the only way to keep small screaming children out of my ears. And I moved, when I first moved out to Seattle and was job hunting, I lived in this house with my parents for several months. It's on Whidbey Island. And one of my favorite places on the island is this little bar and restaurant, family restaurant, kind of a dive bar down the street here called Cozy's. And, it's just like a chill place to meet people for drinks. And uh, they did a little renovation a while back, and they decided to put up this sort of divider wall with specials. So like the bar side has the bar specials, and the restaurant side has the food specials on a wall with like that chalkboard stuff. And I walked in there one day, and there were apostrophes everywhere. Like, I mean, the only apostrophe I will let Cozy's have, right, is the Cozy, C-O-Z-Y apostrophe S, because I like to assume there was some guy in the 30s when that place first opened named Cozy who opened this bar. But this place had, like, anywhere there was an S, there was an apostrophe. So, like, Bloody Marys, tacos. My favorite was spaghetti and meatballs is. So I was just like, I'm not a big, like, I worked in journalism, but I like, there are other word nerds out there. I'm not a big grammatical person. I was a photographer. Um, but this stray apostrophe was really, I realized, was my pet peeve. So I thought about, should I say something? Should I just let it go? And finally the owner walked by, and I was like, uh, you know, there's apostrophes everywhere that shouldn't be here. And she just sort of was like, well, I went to school on the island, so you can blame the education system here. Or you should talk to my friend Julie. She teaches English at the community college. She should have told me. And I was like, well, first of all, I feel bad for Julie. I don't know what kind of English she's teaching. And second of all, like, maybe fix it. But she didn't seem interested. So I just let it go. But then later, I got the idea to begin my covert mission to slowly erase all the apostrophes at Cozy's. She was like, oh, this is not, it looks like chalkboard, but it's chalkboard paint. You can't just like erase it. And I was like, I bet I can. So every time I went in, I would just like scratch off an apostrophe from one of the panels. I didn't want to do it all at once. I wanted to just sort of enjoy it. Each visit, I would just fix one. At one time, I was sitting at a table with my parents, and above me was the tacos, T-A-C-O apostrophe S, and I just sort of reached a finger up behind me and started scratching it off. And the woman across the way looked at me, and I thought she was going to get mad, but she just gave me like a little thumbs up. So I knew I was doing God's work then. So it was I think over Christmas, I probably got the last of the apostrophes in that restaurant. But then, COVID closed everything, and they had been closed for a couple of months, and they finally reopened for takeout. And they put in a new takeout window, and they had their menu online, which was surprisingly free of stray apostrophes, but they put up their daily specials on a chalkboard on the front with the chalk paint again. And there were apostrophes everywhere, a new batch of apostrophes for me to get. So I was there the other day, and I noticed Jello shots is apostrophe S, and I tried scraping it off, but this chalk was more like more like chalk. So I tried rubbing it, and I had to like lick my thumb and get it off, which felt very unhygienic in these COVID times, but it's the price I'm willing to pay to help Cozy's. So don't get me started on their Facebook posts. I can only do so much work, but I'm just hoping maybe she'll one day realize, like, look and see that someone is setting an example, and we can all move forward with an apostrophe-free Cozy's. That's my goal.